Hello and welcome to Jackson's Job. This is the place where things can and often go wrong while baking. You'll see how to fix recipes when they go upside down and how to avoid common mistakes. Let's learn how to make an artisan white bread using just a few ingredients. Here are the ingredients you'll need to follow along, and it's a really simple recipe. This is one of the recipes you make the day before. In a large bowl, we have 3 1/3 cups of flour, 500 grams, and to that we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, 5 grams, and then just a 1/4 teaspoon of instant dry yeast, or 1 gram. You want to mix that until it's well combined, and then you're going to add in some water. Now, some of you wondered why I don't speak as I make the video and I do voiceover. Well, this is the reason why.
Hi, Scout. Hi, Scout.
Isn't Scout adorable? So once you have that mixed up, you're going to add in some water. You're going to need 1 1/2 cups of water, or 360 milliliters. Using the back of a spoon, I'm going to mix this up until I can no longer stir it by hand. Once I can no longer stir it with the spoon, I'm going to use my hand and I'm just going to gather up all the little loose bits until it forms a nice shaggy dough. It'll be quite sticky, and that's absolutely normal. Now all you have to do at this point is cover it and let it rest overnight. If you live in a very hot climate, you may want to rest this into the refrigerator. The next morning you want to prepare a round bowl or a colander, and you want to sprinkle it with some flour. I like to use some rice flour or even some all-purpose flour. The rice flour tends to not stick to the towel as much, so that's why I like to use it. Set that aside, and then we're going to get our dough from last night and look at it by now. It has done all the work for us. It's nice and stretchy, and we are just going to put our fingers in some water and pull it out of the bowl. If you need to, dip your fingers in water more, because this will be a quite sticky dough. Once you've scraped out all the dough, wet your fingers again, and then we're just going to start pulling the edges in toward the middle until we have a rough ball. Grab the edges and pull it into the middle like I'm doing here. If you need to, get your hands damp each time. And do this a few times until you get some really nice tension. Once you have a rough ball shape, you're going to pick this up and you're going to put it seam side up into your colander or your bowl. Just plop it in like so, and then get some more flour and sprinkle on top of that ball. Now we're just going to tuck it in, and we're going to set it aside in a place away from your animals if you have any, because raw dough is dangerous. I like to stick mine in the microwave and just shut the door and wait about 2 to 3 hours. Next, we're going to create a steam bath for our bread. We're going to use an old pan, and we want to make sure that we don't care about it, because when you put water in a pan and it evaporates, it can leave a film behind. So get the cruddiest pan you have. Everybody has one, even I do. You want to fill it with about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of water, and then put it in your oven and preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit or 230 degrees Celsius. You do this right before your bread is finished rising. Your bread should be about double in size, and it should look like this when it's ready. Carefully pull back your towel, and if your towel is sticking at any point, you can dip your fingers into water and pull it away. Taking a nonstick surface or a surface that is covered with parchment paper, you're going to flip your colander or bowl upside down and then just remove it. Now gently start removing your towel. If any point your towel starts to stick to the surface, use your finger and hold it down and just gently tease it off the towel. If you need to, you can use a little bit of water to help it come off. Once you have the towel removed, you're going to use a knife or one of these lames, and you're going to just cut your bread into a fancy pattern. All that does is help the steam escape. And you can cut as many slices as you want, or just one big slice around the top. I'm just going to cut a few little tiny decorative pieces to see what it looks like. It should start to open up for you as you cut, and I'm not as good at this as other people are. If you want to learn how to bake bread like really nicely, there's a lot of really great tutorials out there. When you go to bake this, step aside. Open the oven carefully, and steam will escape, and you don't want to burn yourself. Pop this in the oven and bake it 40 to 45 minutes or until it's golden brown and looks like this. Now it smells wonderful and you're going to want to eat it, but please wait until it's fully cool before you eat it, or you'll get a wet gummy texture. Once it's fully cool, we're going to cut into this and look at this bread. There was relatively little work involved and it tastes wonderful. Maggie thinks so, that's for sure. And let's not forget about Raymond. He deserves a piece too. He's been a hard worker. He waited all night and all day for this bread. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Oh, there was Jackson in the background. Don't worry, guys, he got a piece too. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but you get a really tasty bread. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy baking.